I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on.
Welcome in, everybody, live here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Getting ready to go racing here tonight, live at the Talladega Super Speedway here for the Madness Racing League's Home Run Cafe Truck Series Season 4, presented to you by the Home Run Cafe, race number 7 of 12. Getting ready to come our way right around the corner, right here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel here in Talladega, Alabama. We'll get you down on the racetrack for this 2.66 mile asphalt length oval here, getting ready to take place. Qualifying is on our way. We are seconds away from the conclusion of tonight's part of the event. Texas Super Speedway here at the Talladega Super Speedway. 60 laps, 3 sets of tires, and anywhere between 28 and maybe 30 laps of Sunoco Racing fuel getting ready to take place here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We will have the driver introduction portions part for you here in just a moment as the drivers continue to load in their cars on the racetrack. You are watching the Madness Racing League's Alabama 120 live here at the Talladega Super Speedway. 25 trucks pile out the Super Speedway here tonight, looking for an opportunity to go to victory lane. Ladies and gentlemen, the Madness Racing League Total Nonstop Action Truck Series is right around the corner. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll go ahead and kick off tonight's starting introductions here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel as the rest of the field continues to work their way, loading their way in here, connecting to the service. On the bowl, driving the number 777 Toyota Tundra from Arnorsville, Georgia. It's the Caterpillar number 777, Bobby Kyle. Ladies and gentlemen, driving the number 10 on the outside, Dodge Ram Weekend Woodsman on board from Asheville, North Carolina. Several time, almost won this year, looking for the opportunity here tonight. It'll be the WNW of Ty McIntosh. Starting in the second row, driving the Me-Fine number 6 Dodge Ram from Princeton, North Carolina. It's going to be Zach Evans. Terry Hughes Jr. back in action here on the Truck Series and driving the 881XI Racing Mobile 1 Ford F-150. Behind him will be Tony Cook in the Home Run Cafe number 33 Chevy Silverado. On the outside of him will be the number 46 from Elkhart, Indiana, driving the True Fit Ford F-150 of Mitchell Wilson. Adam Peeler will drive the number 27 Peeler's Green Apple Ale Dodge Ram for M&D Motorsports. He'll take it from the 7th place spot here at the Talladega Super Speedway. On the outside of him will be the number 91 Evans Reptiles Dodge Ram from Crawfordsville, Indiana of Aaron Evans. Driving the number 14 only gas machine that looks like he got W on board this week. It's the number 14 of Luna Lipo. On the inside of him will be the number 66 NR3 Designs Dodge Ram from Union Beach, New Jersey of Neil Rutt III. On the outside of him will be the number 66 Ride the Dente Chevy Silverado from Duncan, South Carolina of Alan Hammerbeck. Corey Tessner will drive the number 800cars.com Chevy Silverado from Greer, South Carolina. He'll check out the 12th place spot. Below him will be the number 99 Exide True Value winner from 2 weeks ago at Chicagoland, the Exide 99 of Aaron Birch. Behind him will be the Weekend Woodsman number 69, the Nurse Aviator of sponsorship as well as Me-Fine from Landrum, South Carolina. It's Nate Hall. On the inside of him will be the number 02 Team Penske Development PPG Paints Ford F-150 from Wilford, South Carolina of Nicholas Maynard. Driving the number 35 Milan Sirius XM Toyota Tundra TRD Pro from, I'm not entirely sure where exactly he's from, the number 35 of Braden Scott. Driving the number 15 machine here tonight from New Bern, North Carolina, Dakota Pignataro. Phil Bogdan will drive the Arizona Dodge Ram from M&D Motorsports. He'll shake out the 18th place spot, followed by Trevor Waters on the outside, and this number 07. Trenton Johns will shake out the number 51 Beechcraft Chevy Silverado, from Williamsburg, Kentucky. Will look to work his way up towards the front of the field. Allen, on the inside of him will be the doctor, the number 13 from Ranger, Georgia, Michael Ponder Jr. Behind him will be the number 23 Gorilla Mine Dodge Ram from Greer, South Carolina, of the Boogeyman, John Michael Bryant. Ladies and gentlemen, driving this number, I did miss over one right there. The number 55 on the outside, driving the Toyota Tundra TRD Pro from Burnside, Kentucky, Michael Durham Jr. Logan Perriman will drive the Exalta number 88 Chevy Silverado from Jabez, Kentucky, here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. And he'll have his father right behind him, the Marlboro Man from Jabez, driving the Folgers number 18, Virgil Perriman. Ladies and gentlemen, we will kill the music here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel as 25 trucks roar to life here at the Talladega Super Speedway, getting ready to take on the high banks here at the Talladega Super Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get you down on the racetrack for tonight's keys of the race. Getting ready to what's going to be a awesome action-packed event here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, you're going to want to manage the pit stops if we're able to get the green flag pit stops here tonight in the Alabama 120 live at the Talladega Super Speedway. You're going to want to find a dancing partner. We call them draft partners here in the draft here at the Talladega Super Speedway. If you don't have extra help somewhere in the field or have you a little bit of extra friends, it's going to be a long, long night for you. Finally, do not get gridlocked. You do not want to find yourself sloshed away in the field where you can't make moves, and we'll have more for that for you in just a moment. And finally, every super speedway's final rule: avoid the big one. It's going to be a big race here tonight with 25 trucks in the field and 60 laps scheduled underneath the books. 266-mile length and oval, 4 turns here on the asphalt surface at the Talladega Super Speedway. 55-mile-an-hour pit lane is what they'll take here as they climb the banking through 3 and 4 for the final time here underneath the pacing laps here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. Bobby Kyle, the 777 Caterpillar Toyota from Huntersville, Georgia, the old-timer, 65 years old, on the pole, getting it done here in Talladega. Ladies and gentlemen, Peter the pace car will hang the left on the pit lane. This time around, we'll see the green flag for the Alabama 120, Bobby Kyle, Ty McIntosh on the front row. Zach Evans rounds out third. Terry Hughes Jr. will be that second car on the second line as the pace car hangs the left down on the pit lane. Bobby Kyle, Ty McIntosh lead the front group. The extra 1,000 feet added on here at the Talladega Super Speedway. But Freddie the Flagman waves the green flag. Green flag is in the air. We're racing in the Alabama 120 at Talladega. Green flag up in the air, ripping through the gears into turn 1 and 2 here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. 25 trucks riling them up here, 15 rows back. Heading off the exit of turn 2, Bobby Kyle on the inside, McIntosh on the outside. They'll battle door to door off turn 2. Down the back straightaway, ripping up through the gears, getting at about 150, 160 miles an hour. Speeds are getting up close to 200 here tonight. Heading down the back straightaway, everybody trying to pick and choose and find a place. McIntosh will clear himself down on the bottom side of the racetrack. Terry Hughes Jr. now will lead that outside line. He'll drop down on the bottom. He'll push Ty McIntosh. And that number 10 machine, they'll work off the exit of turn 3 and 4 for the first time here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. It's going to be led by Ty McIntosh. Mitchell Wilson blinking in and blinking out. He'll show up back up on the outside with the number 91. Of Aaron Evans, door to door. Terry Hughes Jr. on the bottom side with Ty McIntosh. Giving the 81XI Racing. Terry Hughes Jr. He'll lead the first lap here tonight at the Talladega Super Speedway from Troy, Alabama. The hometown driver leads lap number 1. The crowd will absolutely rip, roar, and stand on their feet. Terry Hughes Jr. leads them at Talladega. Heading off the banking here at Talladega Super Speedway, Ty McIntosh, Mitchell Wilson, Terry Hughes Jr., Aaron Evans, the top 5 drivers. Hughes being pushed by Bobby Kyle, our pole sitter here tonight. Ty McIntosh, the race leader. Mitchell Wilson all over that back bumper. They'll slide up the banking here. The Midwest E Motorsports machine will get rid of the number 10 of Ty McIntosh there as he goes down on the bottom side to protect that bottom lane and see how the runs are going to develop here tonight at the Talladega Super Speedway. 25 of them is going to have to really hold it all together. They'll head across the line to finish lap number 2 here at the Alabama 150. Not entirely sure why we're popping so much here graphically with all these trucks on the track, so we apologize there. We'll have to try to get that fixed for you the best of our abilities. Climbing the banking here in the Total Nonstop Action Truck Series TNA is what that is short for the Madness Racing League's Home Run Cafe Truck Series. What a picture right there of these trucks climbing the banking here through turns 1 and 2. They'll head down the back straightaway. McIntosh, Evans, Hughes, Bobby Kyle down on that bottom side line. The outside line being led by Mitchell Wilson, being pushed by Tony Cook into number 33. Everybody looking and picking and choosing, trying to find a spot in the line here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel, climbing the banking into turn 3. And I'm really not satisfied with the way that this thing is very, very choppy with the race trucks here at the Talladega Super Speedway. And that's probably somewhere on our end. And maybe need to get our graphics card updated or some sort beyond those kind of lines here. However, though, the work back across the front straightaway has been all Ty McIntosh so far up to this point tonight. Ty McIntosh, the race leader of that number white and red and blue M&M's number 10 machine. Ty McIntosh led all the laps almost at the Watkins Glen International Raceway after we had our one and only road course race here on the Madness Racing League. Was able to hold on to the race lead there for the majority portion part of that race, but he ended up getting beat by Ty Robertson on pure fuel mileage there at the end of that race. Tony Cook will jump to the outside line there, looking to help that outside third row get going. Bobby Kyle's got the Mitchell Wilson Ford F-150 right behind him, and we're going to have tons of different manufacturers in the field here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. 5 Toyotas are in the field. Chevys usually pile out what we normally have, and it looks like we'll have about 7 Chevys in the field, and we will have about 6 blue ovals as well. The rest of them will be rounded out by Dodge Rams. 12 Dodge Rams in the field here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. Dodge absolutely flooding the field here tonight with some absolute talent. Inside of the Madness Racing League right now, guys are starting to make moves throughout the field. Maynard will fill in on the bottom side of that number 02 PPG Paints Ford F-150 from Watford, South Carolina. He'll work on the inside of Braden Scott. Everybody trying to pick a lane here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. That bottom lane skedaddling back and forth, really starting to get it discombobulated. Ty McIntosh throws a halfway block down the back straightaway. That allows Bobby Kyle to move up the racetrack just a smidge. Bit 14 of Luna Liepo goes up to the top side of that Ford F-150. The number 14 shoved out of line here in turn 3 and 4. He'll fall back to the back half of the field here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. 3 wide as well as the number 69 of Nate Hall trying to skedaddle that 69 truck into line here and get around the number 14. He'll do just that. Bobby Kyle looking on the outside of Ty McIntosh, who misses the block on the top side. 3 wide for the race lead. 3 wide for the race lead. Terry Hughes Jr. gets discombobulated. He'll get down on the bottom side of the racetrack there with Aaron Evans. McIntosh misses the block there late with Bobby Kyle, the 777 from Honorsville, Georgia. Bobby Kyle will take that Toyota to the top side of the racetrack. He'll have a drafting partner in Mitchell Wilson, who will decide to bail on him down the back straightaway. Bobby Kyle will close the hole down on the bottom side of the racetrack. He'll clear his nose across the front bumper of the number 10 Weekend Woodsman Dodge Ram of Ty McIntosh. It's Hammerbeck behind. Alan Hammerbeck is in line, in that number 77 behind Ty McIntosh's number 10 truck. But here comes Aaron Birch, the winner 2 weeks ago at the Chicagoland Super Speedway. He's got it 3 wide up the middle. McIntosh looking for some momentum. He wants the race lead back here at Talladega. Ty Robertson not in the field here tonight. The rest of the field, though, trying to make something move here as Ty McIntosh tries to work his way back up the banking here at the Talladega Super Speedway. Bobby Kyle on the bottom. Alan Hammerbeck pushing that bottom lane. Ty McIntosh on the outside. He has Aaron Birch in his mirror. 3 wide right behind him is the 91, the 8, and the 46 of Mitchell Wilson being pushed by Braden Scott. Here comes Nate Hall rolling up the back bumper. Aaron Evans trying to make everything shake in that number 91 there in the middle lane, but no momentum that he's looking for into turn 3 and 4. They'll split it 3 wide up the banking here at the Talladega Super Speedway. Braden Scott all over the back bumper of the Mitchell Wilson 46 Wilson Racer Ford F-150. Tony Cook trying to work his way back up into the field here. He's falling back to the back half of the field. Everybody trying to hold on to their race trucks, coming back across the front straightaway here at Talladega. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a This is going to be a race where several drivers come into tonight's event and maybe feel like they have the opportunity to make their names known here in the Madness Racing League. The super speedways here on the iRacing platform really open up the strategy for pretty much anybody to win. You got to play your cards right here. We talked about the keys of the race earlier. You're going to want to find a dancing partner, and the last thing you don't want to be is gridlocked here at the Talladega Super Speedway. You might be asking yourself, excuse me, what is gridlocked? Well, gridlock is going to look like something similar right here to Nate Hall as we ride on board this number 69 truck as he's here at the Talladega Super Speedway. He's got guys on both sides of him here in this number 69 Dodge Ram, and he's gridlocked. He has nowhere he can go. He can't turn right to get in the line. He can't turn left till now, and he'll get down on the bottom side, and look how many positions it costs the number 69 of Nate Hall. That's called Bobby Kyle. His Ty McIntosh has soared to the race lead with Aaron Birch. Aaron Evans blinking in and blinking out here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. He's battling a little bit of internet connection issues, but the guy moving up through the field right now is Trenton Johns, and that's number 51 from Williamsburg, Kentucky. We were able to have a conversation with Trenton Johns earlier tonight in the garage area as he's battling a blinking in and blinking out Aaron Evans here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. He told us that one of the things that he was proud of was he wasn't proud of the way that his season has went so far up to this point. Trenton Johns driving that number 51 Beechcraft Chevy Silverado, wrecked out 2 laps into the race 2 weeks ago. Maybe nothing of his own doing, tangling up there with the number 14 of Dagan Barnes out Chicagoland. However, though, we're 10 laps into the Talladega, Alabama 120 here tonight, and Trenton Johns is the hard charger so far. He's up 15 spots from where he started, looking for an opportunity to go to victory lane. Bobby Kyle leading them here on the bottom side. Ty McIntosh throws a halfway block to the bottom side. Bobby Kyle gets tight. He chases Aaron Birch up the racetrack right there. These guys throwing some hellacious blocks here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Ty McIntosh being lazy with them here on the bottom side of the racetrack. He's the one that's jumping from bottom to top, top to bottom. McIntosh barely able to snip his nose over Bobby Kyle. And you see McIntosh back up the top side of the racetrack with a halfway block to the outside lane of Aaron Birch. Aaron Birch gets loose up the racetrack. Contacts made. 3 of them go around. Terry Hughes Jr. up and over. A hard shot for the 14. The big one here at Talladega. The big one piles up here at Talladega Super Speedway. Several trucks involved. Luna Liapo, Trevor Waters, Logan Perriman's involved. Terry Hughes Jr. damn near goes up and over on his lid. Virgil Perriman, Michael Durham Jr., Trenton Johns barely able to snip through that. Phil Bogdan involved in the accident as well. We're see if we cannot back that ass up here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, taking a look and see exactly of maybe what happened right there. I'm not entirely sure. We've seen a guy almost up and over on their lid. We'll back that ass up for the instant replay. Take a look and see exactly maybe what just took place there. A huge shot on the inside right there. Aaron Birch gets loose. Aaron Evans gets snagged by a right rear quarter panel or two. Several drivers pile up here at the Talladega Super Speedway all over the place. The 14 Luna Liepio, whatever, has nowhere to go. Terry Hughes Jr., Michael Durham Jr. as well has nowhere to go. We'll back that ass up one more time. We'll see if we can't ride on board with Terry Hughes Jr. as this is going to be a nasty shot for the 81XI Racing number 81 Ford F-150, but it should give us the entire look that we were looking for. It's going to be a wild ride, folks. Just a crazy ride here at Talladega for several of these drivers here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Having to work their way back around. You never expect it to be you till it is. Looks about maybe 7, 8, maybe 9 trucks involved in the accident here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We'll be back here in just a moment to try to clean it all up and have that dissected to you. We'll be back in just a moment. You won't miss a thing. Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. It is the Alabama 120 here at Talladega Super Speedway, presented to you by the Homerun Cafe in Greer, South Carolina. Make sure you check them out today, a proud sponsor of the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We are riding off the tailgate of the race leader, Ty McIntosh, from Asheville, North Carolina, and I am just a broadcaster, and we'll see how many people work their way down on the pit lane this time around. I'm not a crew chief, but try to give you the best analysis of maybe what just took place on your screen, maybe try to get you the best look of probably what just took place and happened. And it looked like it all started back there in about third or fourth. Terry Hughes Jr. gets right hooked in the right rear quarter panel, but that came between a lot of these guys starting to get halfway lazy with these blocks on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. You're probably asking yourself entirely, what do you mean by that? Well, we had guys shading halfway up the racetrack into the other lane. Yes, you may have 4, maybe 5, maybe 6 car length gaps between you and the guy behind you, but when you start to move up halfway like that, people tend to follow you, and it leads into people piling into one another. Several people are going to work their way down on the pit lane this time around on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, looking to maybe grab some Noco Racing fuel and some brand new Goodyear tires. We will bring it to the end of pit lane and watch the battle for position here as they work their way off. Looks like gas only for a lot of these drivers. Alan Hammerbeck will win the race off pit lane. Bobby Kyle, Corey Tessner will be door-to-door. Mitchell Wilson, Ty McIntosh, Nicholas Maynard, Michael Ponder Jr., John Michael Bryant, Zach Evans, Dakota Pignataro now, Nate Hall, Tony Cook, Adam Peeler, Neil Rutt will be the guys that work their way off of pit lane exactly in that order. They'll work their way back up to the back half of the field where it looks like Logan Perriman from Jabez, Kentucky has stayed out on the racetrack. You hear him on the clutch saving as much fuel as possible. Listen in. You hear him just let the clutch loose back there. Logan Perriman going to play the long strategy game here tonight. He's going to try to save a little bit of Sunoco Racing fuel while they work their how they work off of pit lane will be the number 38 of Allen, 77, of Alan Hammerbeck from Duncan, South Carolina. Bobby Kyle will round out third after the pit stops. Corey Tessner will grab the 4th place position. Mitchell Wilson will move up 1 spot off pit lane to 5th. Ty McIntosh will lose 4 spots off pit lane down into the 6th place position. Nicholas Maynard driving this PPG paints machine will move up to the 7th place spot. Michael Ponder Jr. will grab a spot on pit lane there as well. John Michael Bryant will work his way forward after some track position there. The Zach Evans Dodge Ram will move up to the 10th place spot. That'll be the final top 10 drivers and how they fill out the rest of the field. Ladies and gentlemen, it was a smooth sailing opening 10 to 11 laps here at the Talladega Super Speedway. Guys started getting aggressive there. Midway portions through that run, we started getting some lazy blocks, and that's maybe what could have contributed to that wreck right there, as guys were starting to get discombobulated, trying to figure out which lane is where, because when the race leader starts going from the bottom to the top, or the top to the bottom, you name it, the guys only see what's in front of them, or maybe what's behind them, and you're just following the guy in front of you. So maybe you feel like this guy in front of you might feel totally different in line to maybe where you feel. He comes up off the gas a little bit, and the next thing you know, it's a stack up, and we got people in the outside safe for a barrier like we did just a moment ago. Ladies and gentlemen, Perriman Hammerbeck will be the front row. Tessner, Bobby Kyle in the second row. McIntosh and Wilson will round out that third row. Maynard Ponder will be the 4th row, followed by Brian Evans. That'll be that top 10 and 5th final top driver row here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We will get the green flag to go back racing this time around after the cleanup here at the Talladega Super Speedway. Logan Perriman will now be our race leader here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. That gives us perfect opportunity to bring up tonight's remaining schedule. 2 weeks from now, we'll head to the Charlotte Motor Speedway. It should be one hell of a race here on the Madness Racing League's Total Nonstop Action Truck Series. Tire wear going to be very, very key there tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We take on Talladega. We'll go to Auto Club, Las Vegas, and then Homestead, and that's how we'll wrap up the Home Run Cafe TNA Truck Series here in Season 4 for the Madness Racing League. Get you back down here on the main broadcast cam live, where the rest of the field is working their way up to Peter the Base Car. Green flag should drop this time around. It'll be in the control hands of Logan Perriman from Jabez, Kentucky, driving the Axalta number 88 machine. Alan Hammerbeck will lead it from the front row here at the Talladega Super Speedway. Bobby Kyle will keep his track position there after the pit stops. He'll round out the 3rd place position on the bottom side. Sun beaming down on the racetrack. It's a hot day to go racing here tonight. We'll bring up tonight's NR3 Designs weather report. 81 degrees out on the racetrack. 9-mile-per-hour wind blowing in from the northeast on a partly cloudy condition day. Humidity up to 48%. Very mucky out here at the Talladega Super Speedway. Lights are off on top of the pace car. He should hang the left down on the pit lane. This time around, it'll be Perriman, Hammerbeck, Bobby Kyle in charge of the front half pack here, but it'll be Logan Perriman in charge of the restart here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Green flag back in the air here at Talladega. Logan Perriman ready to slam on it whenever he would like to. 25 cars still remain here at Talladega. Green flag back in the air here in Alabama for the Alabama 120. It's Logan Perriman, Alan Hammerbeck, Bobby Kyle, Corey Tessner, the top drivers. Drivers going to have to work together all night long here, continuing to pick off the laps here. We are not even halfway here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Tons of more drafting to get done here. These guys need to choose a lane and a partner and get it up and moving. Headed down the back straightaway. It's side by side, door to door. Alan Hammerbeck pushing here on the outside. Behind him is his teammate, the number 8 of Corey Riptide Tessner. Look at Perriman on the bottom side being pushed by Bobby Kyle. Ty McIntosh in the number 10. Michael Ponder on the top side, and Alan Hammerbeck closes down on the bottom side. Corey Tessner, just what we talked about, tries to follow the race leader to the bottom side, and he's not able to get there. Alan Hammerbeck throws a block back to the back outside half here. That allows Logan Perriman to grab the race lead once more as they head across the start-finish line. Alan Hammerbeck will lose the race lead there from the inside line after trying to throw a block. Corey Tessner gets knocked out of surface, trying to follow the leader like it's the third grade. You can't do that, folks. You got to run your race here in the high banks of the Talladega and Daytona Super Speedways. When you get out here in the pack, you got to make business decisions. Tessner now is become gridlocked on this outside line. His best bet is to pick and choose which battle he wants to fight. He'll sad draft and absolutely door bang the number 13 of Michael Ponder Jr. Corey Tessner now on the outside line. If he'll just lift just a tad bit, he should be able to fill in line in front of this number 33 machine of Tony Cook. And Tony Cook looks like he'll let him just do just that, riding on board the Homerun Cafe Series-sponsored Chevy Silverado of Tony Cook. He's been given some decent shots and pushes here. He's got his way up to the 17th place spot here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Everybody trying to find a spot towards the front. Riding out the front windshield of the Wiki Man, your mom's favorite driver, John Michael Bryant. He's gotten discombobulated from the front half group. Maynard's kept his foot in it. Bryant, though, has a run there from Zach Evans off the exit of turn 2. 3 wide back on the back straightaway. Guys are starting to get a little bit loose again once more. That's the number 51 Beechcraft machine on the outside of Trenton Johns, pushing the Dr. Michael Ponder Jr. In that third lane, Alan Hammerbeck finally gets combobulated back up again with Corey Tessner. But the Dr. Michael Ponder Jr. closes the door shut on the middle lane there. He'll leave his partner on the outside of Trenton Johns driving that Beechcraft 51. He'll fill in the line back on the outside. Nobody wanting to play friend here tonight so far. 18 laps into the Alabama 120. Several drivers have teammates out on the track, but they're going to have to pick and choose when to use the help here from the teammate. John Michael Bryant jumps to the outside, safe for barrier line. He'll have his teammate Nicholas Maynard with him. They'll be pushing the Mitchell Wilson machine. Will ride on board with Nicholas Maynard. He's all over the back bumper of the True Fit 46, of Mitchell Wilson, and they got the race lead here at Talladega. Wilson, Maynard, Bryant, the top line. Perriman on the bottom, leading it in the red. Exalted number 88 machine being pushed by the veteran of Bobby Kyle. Does Nicholas Maynard move down to the bottom side? He will elect to continue to push the 4 teammate of Mitchell Wilson here on the outside line. Mitchell Wilson will shade halfway down on the bottom side. Maynard will keep his line on the outside. Now Mitchell Wilson has no help. Maynard has a little bit of drafting help. He's got his teammate John Michael Bryant. They'll climb to the top side, safe for barrier. Maynard will have the race lead here on the top side. Perriman down on the bottom. John Michael Bryant slides off down on the bottom side. John Michael Bryant leaves his teammate from the top side of the racetrack, goes way down to the bottom side. John Michael Bryant looking for an opportunity to take the race lead here tonight. They'll drag race down the back straightaway. Team Maynard, Team Bryant up the front here. They'll lead both lines down into turn 3 and 4. Now Maynard to clear himself down on the bottom side in front of the number 23 of John Michael Bryan. Alan Hammerbeck trying to pull his 77 truck back up to the front with a teammate of Gory Riptide Tessner. 20 laps completed this time around on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. It's anybody's ball game. Drivers trying everything possible to get themselves up to the front. Nicholas Maynard on the inside. Here comes Alan Hammerbeck. He'll take the race lead from Nicholas Maynard that last time around. Battles all throughout the field. Drivers trying their hardest to hold on to it. Zach Evans starting to go backwards here. He's filled into line. He's gridlocked on the bottom side behind the 777 of Bobby Kyle. But there's one more truck in line. That's that Rockstar 35 of Braden Scott on the outside. He'll look 3 wide in that Toyota. Climbing the banking here is flying down the back straightaway. Looks like we got about a 5-car tandem draft on the outside compared to the 10-12 car draft on the inside. The Virgil machine of Virgil Perriman, the Folgers number 18 red and gold machine up the middle there. He's behind the Beechcraft Kentucky driver. The redneck, the Cessna number 51 of Trenton John. Several rednecks in here in the field tonight. We call every redneck from Kentucky that here. Maynard jumps to the back outside in front of this number 46 Ford F-150 of Mitchell Wilson. They'll look to draft each other up here to the front half of the field. Alan Hammerbeck has the race lead. Corey Tessner, his teammate, pushing all over the back bumper of that number 38 machine. Maynard now climbs the banking on the outside of the number 77 of Alan Hammerbeck. Wilson connects to the back bumper of the PPG F-150 of Maynard. They'll sail up the banking here through 2. Heading off the back straightaway onto it. Ladies and gentlemen, these drivers putting on a show for you fans. The sun has caught a cloud here. It has really brought up the grip here. It's really brought up the speed. We also wanted to have the opportunity to explain to some of you guys, what are the engine tuner builders guys doing back at the shop for some of these groups? We were able to have conversations back in the garage area, like with the driver of the number 46 of Mitchell Wilson and his Ford F-150. His team was going, these Fords, talked about how they were going to bring handling over speed here tonight. They got a little bit of speed as 2 Ford F-150 now take over the front row. Maynard will let Mitchell Wilson slide down on the bottom side of him. 2 Blue Ovals lead it here at the Talladega Super Speedway. Don't forget about that Dodge Ram and the Michael Ponder Jr. machine. The doctor making his name here. He'll take the race lead the last lap around. Michael Ponder Jr. credited on our ticker here on my computer as the race leader that last time around. Mitchell Wilson, I'm not entirely sure, was able to come across the line as the first driver. Tony Cook discombobulated down the back straightaway. Caution flag flies down on the back. Bobby Kyle's involved in the accident. He'll come all the way across the field. Caution flag out here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Bobby Kyle knocked out a line there in that number 777 Toyota Tundra Pro. Yellow flag is out here at the Talladega Super Speedway. Several drivers beat and battered and knocked around right there. Not entirely sure what happened to Bobby Kyle. I'm not even sure if we even have a replay popped up on our screen there. That must have been a manually thrown caution. So we'll back that ass up for the instant replay. And as it backs its ass up, we also want to remind you folks to press that like button, press that subscribe button if you're loving what you're seeing. Talladega Super Speedway. The Alabama 120 here at Talladega leads several drivers discombobulated down the back straightaway. We'll throw up the blimp cam here riding around looking at Bobby Kyle. And it made me look like it started up here in the middle. Tony Cook gets loose down the bottom side, hits Bobby Kyle. Bobby Kyle comes back across the front, the whole field. Barely able to snib away from him right there, so not entirely sure. We'll back that ass up one more time, see if we can't ride on board the number 33 of Tony Cook and see exactly what he's seen. The 35 of Braden Scott looks like he jumped up out of line right in front of the Virgil Perriman number 18 machine. Bobby Kyle had nowhere to go, neither did Tony Cook. And that's what led to that accident right there. Braden Scott jumping lines, guys. We talked about it earlier with the first caution flag. This time we're 22 laps in, not even halfway. And blocks have been both caution flags here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We'll be back here in just a moment. We'll let the broadcast catch up, let the cleanup continue. We're 22 laps in it here at the Talladega, Alabama 120. Back in just a moment.
Till I get up, time is barely on our side. we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Pacing behind Peter the Pace car. Looks like we're still at about right at 20, maybe 23 trucks now. Still contending out on the field. Aaron Evans will be scheduled as the lucky dog that last time around on the Booty Scoot Racing channel in his number 91 Evans Reptiles machine from Crawfordsville, Indiana. He'll get the wave at lap 23. Here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, it'll be led by two blue ovals and Mitchell Wilson and Nicholas Maynard. Not even teammates, but the blue ovals brought some speed here tonight. Chevy Ram pile out the top four drivers. Everybody works their way down on the pit lane. How many of these drivers are let to put tires on the race truck? Or how many of them is going to do fuel only as they slide down into their boxes here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel? We'll watch the end of pit lane, see who wins the battle off pit road. Battle off pit lane here. Looks like it's going to be win by Mitchell Wilson, Alan Hammerbeck, Michael Ponder Jr., Corey Tessner, Zach Evans, Mitchell Wilson, John Michael Bryant, Neil Rutt, Dakota Pignataro, Nate Hall, Nicholas Maynard, Trenton Johns, Logan Perriman, Birch, Scott, and it looked like Tony Cook and Bobby Kyle still down there on pit lane. Picking up the rest of their stuff. Adam Peeler will work his way off of pit lane in that number 27 machine as everybody else catches up to the back half of the field here at the Talladega Super Speedway. You're watching the Alabama 120 live here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been one hell of a race so far up to this point. We'll pull up tonight's race recap. We're 24 laps into the 60-lap scheduled event here today, and Mitchell Wilson is our race leader. 9 different lead changes, 24 laps into tonight's event. We can kind of break it down for you here, give you a kind of quick breakdown of what took place here in the opening laps of the Alabama 120. It all started with Bobby Kyle, the driver of the 777 Toyota Tundra TRD Pro from Arnersville, Georgia, sitting on the pole here tonight. The 65-year-old brought some speed inside of his race truck. He led the first couple laps here tonight, but it was Ty McIntosh in the Weekend Woodsman number 10 machine that had the better half handling truck the opening laps here. Looks like they maybe trimmed it out to handle quite well in that number 10 machine. He'll come off a pit lane, what will be the 6th place spot this time around right there as he comes across your screen. Ty McIntosh was leading the front charge half of the field earlier in tonight's event. A couple questionable blocks from the bottom to the top lane maybe got the guys behind him way out of loop, and it's the best way to describe it is, folks, is you feel like you're following the driver in front of you, and then the next thing you know, you're merging into the line on the bottom or on the top side of you, and then just mayhem ensues, and it maybe looks like probably what we had on lap number 8 or 10, here tonight that brought out that first caution flag. We'll work our second caution flag here tonight after a quick caution flag right there for that 777 of Bobby Kyle. Tony Cook had to get up off the gas as Braden Scott jumps from the bottom line to the top line, checks up the whole back half of the field. That's the kind of thing that we were talking about earlier tonight, folks, on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, trying to explain to everybody that just the different kind of things and the strategies of what you should be looking for here at the Talladega Super Speedway. We always understand that several trucks battling side by side for, at high rates of speed on big banking racetracks like Talladega. It's a spectacle of racing. It's one of the most coolest things you can see probably in your entire life. But you know what you're looking for out there on the racetrack. It can really enlighten the experience and what you may see. That's our job up here in the booth, to paint that picture for you here tonight and explain to you how things work here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. They'll work off the exit of turn 2 here. We'll bring up the point schedule coming into tonight's event here on the Madness Racing League. Ty Robertson, our regular season points leader so far, he is no longer going to be able to make any more truck starts here in season 4. So Ty Robertson will slowly find himself buying his way down through the field over these next 4 or 5 races. Ty McIntosh, though, in that second place point standing spot, can explain why maybe his team has been a little bit aggressive here tonight, trying to grab the race win, lead most of the laps, get all the bonus points necessary. We'll see how things work out here for that weekend. Woodsman M&D Motorsports number 10 machine of Ty McIntosh. Ladies and gentlemen, the front row will be Mitchell Wilson and Alan Hammerbeck once more, followed by Michael Ponder and Corey Tetzner. The top 4 drivers here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel getting ready to head back towards the restart zone here on the front straightaway. Mitchell Wilson will be in charge of the restart in his Ford F-150. Alan Hammerbeck will be on the outside of them. Remember, folks, these drivers cannot jump on the outside. It is on the race leader to start tonight's event. We'll watch the restart from the fan cam. 20 trucks pile out here on the restart heading your way. Ladies and gentlemen, it'll be in the hands of Mitchell Wilson whenever he would like it. Green flag heading away 1,000 feet through the restart zone. We're back racing here at Talladega. Back racing at Talladega, Mitchell Wilson gets a great jump right here in front of the fans heading into turn 1 and 2 at the Talladega Super Speedway. Alan Hammerbeck has the second place spot, followed by Corey Tetzner, McIntosh, and Rutt. That'll be the top 5 drivers on the top side line. Alan Hammerbeck jumps to the bottom side. He'll leave the Ford F-150 of Mitchell Wilson. That was quick and immediate here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Ty McIntosh now has to push the Ford F-150 of Mitchell Wilson on the outside. Alan Hammerbeck will have his teammate in Corey Tetzner pushing him on the bottom. We'll see how things work here in the turn 3 and 4. Just one lap into the restart here, heading back around to the green flag here after this restart. Several guys have already made moves from the bottom to the top side of the racetrack. One of them, that's Michael Ponder Jr. having the race of his life here tonight. This number 13 machine. We're right out of the roof cam here on the restart into turn 1 on top of the Michael Ponder Jr. machine. You see Dakota Pignataro lonesome out there on that outside line of that number 15 trying to make something shake here. It doesn't look like he'll have any drafting help behind him. Michael Ponder Jr. had Zach Evans in that white and red. Zach Evans, me fine, number 6 machine, the white red truck there on the bottom side. 2 Dodge Rams in a row, 4 of them stacked out the top 10 drivers here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. It's a Ram, a Ford, and a Toyota. The top 4 drivers right now, though. Neil Rutt III pushing his teammate team-owned truck. The number 10 of Ty McIntosh to the race lead here at Talladega. Dakota Pignataro, Nate Hall, all in line there with with Adam Peeler. Would you look at this, folks? 5 M&D Motorsports trucks lead the outside line at Talladega. Adam Peeler, the last M&D Motorsports line guy in line. He'll take it 3 wide on the outside. He wants 3 wide around his teammates here. They're looking to work their way up towards the front. A 5-truck tandem draft on the outside. It's Peeler leading the charge, followed by Michael Durham Jr. Virgil Perriman, the Marble Man, starting to work his way back up into the field. Trent Johns now will join the party on that outside safer barrier with Aaron Birch, 4 on the outside, 8 in the middle, 9 on the bottom, 3 wide at Talladega. Nobody going to lift an inch here tonight at the Talladega Super Speedway. 3 wide off the exit of turn 2. Peeler leads the outside lane. McIntosh in the middle. Wilson on the bottom. A Ford Blue Oval trying everything possible to get his way back up towards the front. Now Tetzner trying for the opportunity. 3 wide, 3 rows back. Made it on the bottom behind his teammate. He'll lead that bottom line here on the bottom side. Now Nate Hall moves up to the number 69. He tries to clear himself across the front nose of his teammate Adam Peeler. Halfway commits the block. Not able to get it. That'll kill the run to the 27 machine of Adam Peeler. His group is now going to start to fall backwards here at Talladega. Remember, folks, the 69 of Nate Hall, teammates with that number 27 on the outside line. They'll try to come down and side draft this group, but you see midway portions here on this middle lane here starts to get discombobulated. The front part wants to jump up to the top side and try to grab a teammate or two, but the bottom side wants to stay in line and draft. So these drivers are really going to have to pick and choose. Michael Durham Jr. tries to find a spot down on the bottom side of the racetrack. He'll fit in the line this time around. It's Mitchell Wilson on the bottom side. McIntosh on the inside, leading the lines here for the Trenton Johns 51 Beechcraft machine will roll up behind Nate Hall. Braden Scott all over the back bumper. Adam Peeler now 3 wide here at the Talladega Super Speedway. He's all the way on the top side of the racetrack. This could be a mess for the Green Apple Ale. 27 of Adam Peeler just trying to hold on to his spot here at the Talladega Super Speedway. Tony Cook has made a business decision here. Midway portions, we're halfway here at Talladega. Tony Cook drops to the back half of this Madness Racing League number 33 Homerun Cafe Series sponsored truck. But it's McIntosh throwing the block to the outside line. He'll stop the run from his teammates. Neil Rutt III now will have to try to get the guys up in a group. Michael Ponder Jr., the doctor, will jump to the outside line, and that number 13, he'll look to separate the group. He'll do just that. Looks like guys are starting to get discombobulated here on the bottom side. Tensions are starting to flare up. Trenton Johns jumps from the bottom side to the middle side of the racetrack. That's one hell of a move from the Beechcraft number 51 Chevy Silverado. Battle down the back straightaway. John Michael Bryan in this number 23 truck down on the bottom side. Nicholas Maynard right behind him. His teammate, these two drives trying to make something work, but it's gridlocked on the bottom. Gridlocked to the right side of him. There's nowhere to go, folks. Mitchell Wilson trying everything possible to try to get back up towards the front. He'll have to fill in a line here in this number 46 machine behind Trenton Johns and the number 51, but it's Ty McIntosh leading the group. He'll drop down on the bottom side. He'll throw a block over the number 77 of Alan Hammerbeck. These drivers are absolutely nuts and insane. 4 wide here at the Talladega Super Speedway. Michael Ponder Jr. chases Mitchell Wilson up the racetrack that last time around. Aaron Burt's trying to get this XI99 machine and get his ducks, in a row here, starting to try to paint a picture. Riding on board the 51 of Trenton Johns. And this outside line is carrying a heap of momentum here into turn 3 and 4. Alan Hammerbeck now has got to the back bumper of Ty McIntosh with Corey Tessner all over him. Neil Wright leads the outside line. He's got a whole group of teammates behind him. It's Dakota Pignataro and Trenton Johnson. They're separated by Aaron Birch. It looks like going to be Michael Ponder Jr. Right now, though, M&D Motorsports leads both lines here at the Talladega Super Speedway. Neil Wright will keep him honest down here. Virgil Perriman goes around on the front straightaway. Caution flag flies here at Talladega, and the number 18's around. Back up and moving, just got past the halfway point. Virgil Perriman gets collected in somebody else's mess here. We'll have to back that ass up. Take a look at the instant replay and see exactly what happened here to the Marble Man. Virgil Perriman driving this number 18 truck, just gets right hooked. Mitchell Wilson, hard and safe for barrier. Head-on shot for the Folgers number 18 machine. We'll back that ass up. We'll see if we can't ride out of the gearbox here of the number 42 Toyota Tundra TRD Pro of Virgil Perriman. It should be one hell of a ride. We'll see what happens. Just not clear across that front bumper of that number 46 of Mitchell Wilson. Virgil Perriman gets collected into the accident. He goes around, has to lock up the brakes. And this Folgers 18 machine just not clear there for Virgil Perriman in the number 18. Leads to that accident here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. So we will throw it to a quick commercial break as Virgil Perriman from Jabez, Kentucky. You see him all tore up here at Talladega. Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. From the quick commercial break, we'll kill the music here from the DJ. Looks like we got a couple takers working their way down on the pit lane. We'll see how everybody elects to do it. We'll ride out of the front row bar of Nicholas Maynard from Wilford, South Carolina. We'll see how it works out here for his group. How do they elect to play it in this number 02 PPG Paints machine? He'll pull it on the pit lane. Looks like they're going to do at least right side tires, and they'll do Sunoco Racing Fuel on this number 02 machine. Will they do 4 fresh Goodyear tires? It'll be a 2-tire stop for the kid of Nicholas Maynard here in his group. Everybody else works their way off a pit lane. It looks like Aaron Burt stays out on the racetrack. He's the only contestant to do so. Ty McIntosh will lead the battle off pit lane, followed by Alan Hammerbeck, Corey Riptide Tessner. Dakota Pignataro will win the top 5 battle. We'll have the rest of the drivers all situated behind the pace car. We'll keep it side by side for one more quick commercial break. We'll throw up our night series sponsor, the Homerun Cafe, and we'll be back in just a moment. Make sure you check out the Homerun Cafe today, 4 Mill Street in Inman, South Carolina, 29349, or call them at 864-561-6955. Open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 2 p.m., Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Make sure you tell them the Booty Scoot Racing channel sent you for all of your race day fuel here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. A hot day out here in the summer. Want to go outside, sit on the porch, and swing a little bit. Custom-made, handcrafted Pops Porch Bed Swings, 864-978-1913. Go check them out on Facebook at Pops Porch Bed Swings, Charleston, South Carolina. Get you back here on the main broadcast cam where the drivers are off of pit lane here now. We'll kill the music here, try to break down the rest of the field and what's taking place here so far tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Aaron Birch leads the group here as he stays out on the racetrack from Park Ridge, New Jersey. This Exide Ford F-150 of Aaron Birch went to victory lane 2 weeks ago at the Chicagoland Speedway in the overtime. He'll have 28 laps, going to be 27 this time around to try to hold on to the race lead here at Talladega. Can we have at least one more pit stop here tonight? We'll have to look and pay attention and make sure, as these guys have yet to have the green flag pit stops. They've just come down and topped off on Sunoco Racing fuel. It should be close marginally when it comes to numbers. McIntosh on the outside line. He is from Asheville, North Carolina, and he has led 15 laps here tonight at the Alabama 120 at Talladega Super Speedway. This Ty McIntosh machine's got some speed in it, and he went to victory lane at the Charlotte Motor Speedway back in Season 3 last year on the Booty Scoot Racing channel and led a ton of laps at Watkins Glen. Almost maybe had that one in the book. And then Ty Robertson came out of nowhere on fuel mileage to steal it from Ty McIntosh. Corey Tessner in that 8 machine on the outside. He's still looking for his first win here in Season 4 of the Truck Series after taking 2 mile-and-a-half wins last season in Season 3. Zach Evans looking for his first career win, as well as Alan Hammerbeck and Dakota Pig Notaro. Neil Rutt III has been to victory lane one other time. John Michael Bryan and that number 23 Gorilla Mine has never been to victory lane, so several guys know they have the opportunity here tonight to find a way to victory lane, maybe earn themselves a trophy plaque to put on their wall back at the house. Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting ready to come back towards the restart zone here inside of the Alabama 120 at the Talladega Super Speedway. We'll throw up tonight's race analysis, 60 laps. We'll do the recap to go with it. 34 of those 60 complete here tonight. Ty McIntosh is our race leader. 9 position changes for the race lead on the previous caution has now jumped up to 13. So 4 more different lead changes here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. This has been one hell of a Talladega race so far up to this point. 3 caution flags for about 9 laps here at Talladega. The first one started here tonight on a huge pileup into turn 1 on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, seen about maybe 6, 7, maybe 8 cars involved in that accident. The second one was for Bobby Kyle as he got absolutely pancaked by the 33 who got checked up on that outside line from several drivers picking and choosing which lane they wanted to be in. Finally, the previous caution flag saw Virgil Perriman try to go across the front bumper of Trenton Johns and get turned around hard into the outside safer barrier. Aaron Birch now leads them back towards the restart zone. Ty McIntosh is in the second place spot. Green flag back in the air here with 27 laps to go at Talladega. You have yourself a virtual race on the restart. It's going to be very, very interesting here to see how these drivers elect to do the rest of the race here tonight at Talladega, especially guys like Ty McIntosh. You've had a fast number 10 truck here tonight. You want to try to keep it that way. Corey Tessner, I wouldn't imagine here, is want to play friendly bumper games with Ty McIntosh. That's not a teammate of his choice, but he's all over the back bumper of McIntosh. McIntosh now will have a full truck length clear around the number 99. Tessner trying to clear himself too. Does Tessner now jump to the bottom side? Here, he'll try to work around the right side of Ty McIntosh. He'll throw a halfway block there. McIntosh just trying to hold his line. Tessner on the outside line trying to get a little bit of momentum here to the back bumper to hit McIntosh squarely off the exit up the corner. Now Alan Hammerbeck will split to the bottom side. He'll push Aaron Birch to the race lead. Neil Rutt III will fill into behind him. Dakota Pignataro as well. Tessner has yet to come off the back bumper of this number 10 machine of Ty McIntosh, who's driving this Ty Rowdy WNW number 10 machine, climbing the banking here at the Talladega Super Speedway into turn 1 and 2. McIntosh now doesn't have the help that he was needed, quite like for Corey Tester into turn 1. Alan Hammerbeck stays committed to the back bumper of the number 99 of Aaron Birch. But how long does the water temperature keep up and hang on here for Alan Hammerbeck? They'll work off the exit of turn 2. Dakota Pignataro will jump to the outside. McIntosh will jump to the outside line as well. He'll throw the block over Dakota Pignataro to stop the outside line. Dakota Pignataro, a one-man band here at the Super Speedway. Corey Tester gets loose up the racetrack. 2 guys involved. Aaron Birch barrel rolls here at the fifth straightaway. Holy shit! 8, 9, 10 cars involved in the accident. Trent John's involved. The 99 of Aaron Birch is involved. He was upside down on his lid. Zach Evans tore up here. Michael Ponder tore up. Aaron Birch, Trenton Johns, everybody involved in the accident. Neil Rudd involved as well. Holy shit, that was a huge wreck here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Everybody involved in the accident here. A nasty wreck on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Sees several drivers up and over, almost on their rooftops right there. And a nasty wreck here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We'll back that ass up for the instant replay. This one's going to need some breaking down of, obviously, of course, several guys come banging and piling into the wreck right there. It had already happened at this point. We'll back that ass up way more here. Take a look and see what happened. We see Dakota Pignataro jump from the inside to the outside lane. McIntosh jumps up to pick up his teammate. Halfway blocks the number 15. Dakota Pignataro tries to fill in the line. Corey Tester gets control, and next thing you know, one's up and over on their lid. It's Aaron Birch. He goes for a nasty ride here at Talladega Super Speedway. Several drivers involved. It's looking like maybe 8, 9, 10, maybe 12 trucks involved in the accident here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We will back that ass up one more time. We will ride out the front nose of this Aaron Birch machine, trying to see exactly what happened to him inside of this number 99 from the race lead to up and over on his lid. What a ride there for Aaron Birch in this number 99 X-Side Ford F-150. Several guys involved in the accident. We'll back that ass up one more time. Try to get you a better angle of this wreck. We'll watch it from the blimp cam. See Tessner there on the inside, just trying to hold the middle lane there. Dakota Pignataro, maybe Tessner comes up just a smidge bit, but we've seen this time and time again here tonight, guys. We're going to be jumping lanes, trying to pick up different drivers, teammates, you name it. This is going to be the kind of stuff that happens here at the Talladega Super Speedway. You have to pick a line and choose it. If drivers are going to move on the outside line, jump lanes, and try to make runs towards the front half of the field, you have to be totally fine and acceptable of those kind of things. The next thing you know, you find yourself in a 14, 12, 10-car crash here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Looks like Maynard was able to escape that. So was Logan Perriman. Dakota Pignataro, not so much fortunate here in this MC number 15 Toyota. We'll be back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Cleanup continues as we will be back. Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. The name of the song that you're hearing in the background called Fearless, and that's exactly what these drivers have been here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. A 10, maybe 12 car pile up there down the back straightaway, led wrong after, again, once more, guys and their peripheral visions just start to get discombobulated on where drivers may be. We've seen the race leader on that outside line, McIntosh, jump up to the outside line to pick up his 15 truck. Dakota Pignataro Totaro teammate to draft with, and that's all okay, folks. It happens in super speedway racing. However, though, Corey Tessner and that number 8 HendrickCars.com truck was not looking to go to the top side of the racetrack. He was trying to hold his line down the middle of the track, and maybe looks like he just got disaware, some hard racing going on here at Talladega on exactly maybe where he was at on the racetrack. That's not saying Dakota Pignataro maybe didn't have a little bit to do with it as well, but I promise you guys, from my experience being up here in the booth and watching these races here, competing a lot out on the racetracks, super speedway is my passion when it comes to racing. If these drivers would just be patient with one another and make these kind of moves that they're making in the back half of the 5 laps or so, it would get way easier for these guys. And maybe what we're trying to explain here and make this possible to understand, if you have 2 drivers leading lines here at the Talladega Super Speedway and the leader starts to get discombobulated, maybe he gets himself clear of that inside line and he's gotten thoughts in his head of maybe dropping down to the bottom line and clearing himself just because he wants to lead the bottom instead of the top. Well, sometimes the drivers behind you as you lead that top lane aren't really aware of what's around them. They'll try to follow the race leader down into the bottom lane or vice versa, try to slide up into the top lane, not being aware of the guys that are around him. Maybe the race leader's only clear, and maybe the guy in line behind him's not. That's what leads to wrecks like that here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We understand that you may need a drafting partner here on the long run at the Talladega Super Speedway, but this is one of these things where when you find your drafting partner, you either stick with them or you make game plans towards the end of these races to find yourself in the best track position possible to make something shake here on the long run. We got about maybe 5 or 6 different teams here inside of the Madness Racing League. One of the bigger teams exceeds somewhere between 5 to 6 trucks here inside of a 25 truck car field. The rest of them, some of them 2-man teams, 3-man teams, 4-man teams, even single car teams. However, though, these drivers need to use one another here tonight, clean up all the action out on the racetrack, and it looks like we had about 10 drivers stay out on the field this time around. Well, about 7 or 8 drivers stay out on the field this time around instead of electing to go down on the pit lane and service their race cars. Everybody that we see coming off the pit lane now should be drivers that were involved in that massive wreck on that previous lap around here in the Alabama 120. So we should see the double file this time around. The drivers will have to catch the back of the field pretty quickly, and they should be able to do that. You see Peter the pace car. He'll jump up to the middle line. He'll split the groups here. You'll have your bottom line. You'll have your top line. Now, if Peter the pace car was to start jumping from the top lane to the bottom lane, guys like the 88 of Logan Perriman would try to follow him. And even though McIntosh is on the bottom side, Perriman can't see that out that left rear window. He'll come down just like similar to what he's doing right now, but I bet he's probably just having a conversation to the number 10 of McIntosh. But it would look similar to this, and contact would be made, and the next thing you know, you have yourself with 4, 5, 10 cars piled up, and the race leader is long gone, and he's never even touched. Let's break down this quick field break here on this restart, how they line up. Ty McIntosh will be back out front here in the first place spot. The pole sitter here tonight not the pole sitter, the Ty McIntosh machine who's led the most laps here tonight. On the front row, on the outside of him's got a little bit of front nose damage is Logan Perriman. How does that damage hold up here in the front half, trying to lead a line on the outside? Nicholas Maynard from Wilford, South Carolina will be in the 4th place spot. He'll be behind the number 88 of Logan Perriman here. He's got a little bit of damage. Bobby Kyle, our pole sitter here tonight, driving the 777 Caterpillar Toyota Tundra from Arnoldville, Georgia. He's led about 8 laps here tonight. Bobby Kyle will start from the 3rd place position here on the restart. Braden Scott driving the Rockstar number 35 Milan Toyota Tundra TRD Pro. On the outside of him will be Adam Peeler driving this number 27 Peeler's Red Apple Ale machine. We're getting ready to go back racing here through turn 4. The fans are on their feet. 22 laps remain here at Talladega. Can we keep it caution free here to the rest of the event? One thing to watch out for here, guys, I'm very concerned about this front nose damage of that outside line of Logan Perriman. You can't even see the Silverado on side of that number 88 machine. It's so crushed up in on the front side. We'll see how the outside line is able to go, though. Can Maynard get to that back bumper, get connected here on the restart? Bobby Kyle is going to be looking to try to do the same for Ty McIntosh. McIntosh jumps immediately to the restart zone. He'll get a great jump over the 777 of Bobby Kyle. Green flag back in the air here at Talladega as they rip up the banking, flying back through the gears, heading towards turn 1 here at Talladega. Heading off turns 1 and 2, 20 laps to go here at the Talladega Super Speedway. Maynard in that outside line, getting nowhere to go, moving. It's Logan Perriman, jumps down to the bottom side of the line. He'll jump behind the number 10 of Ty McIntosh. That'll let Maynard in this Ford F-150 lead this outside line, being pushed by Adam Peeler. Braden Scott will jump to the top side of the racetrack. He'll look to lead this Pinnacle Toyota Group Racing line on the outside. Maynard will have to put the bumper to the back bumper of the 35, and he's coming hard. Will he get to him? Bumpers applied to the back of the 35. Maynard puts a huge shot to the outside wall. 2 more drivers jump from the bottom lane to the top. Logan Perriman now will jump back outside to the outside line. 3 of these guys are in a row. Our teammates, it's Perriman, Durham, and Trenton Johns. The Kentucky Rednecks work their way up here at Talladega. Here come the Rednecks at the Talladega Super Speedway, and the crowd are going crazy. It's Logan Perriman leading the charge with Michael Durham Jr. right behind him. Maynard shoved 4 wide on the outside line. He's starting to lose spots down the back straightaway. Maynard from the front to the back immediately. 20 laps to go. What entirely happened right there to Nicholas Maynard? Is he making a business decision here on the back half of tonight's event, or was he just shoved out of line of that number 02? Either way, he's at the back half of the field. 20 laps to go here at the Talladega Super Speedway. Logan Perriman jumps to the race lead here in this Exalta number 88 machine. He's got a little bit of damage on the front half of this number 88, but it does not appear to be causing any kind of discombobulation from that outside line and the way they're able to draft. Here come the Rednecks pushing on the outside. Bobby Kyle all over the back bumper of the number 10 of Ty McIntosh. Here comes the team owner Neil Rudd on the bottom side, and the NR3 number 66 Dodge Ram trying to make something shake. Mitchell Wilson will be all over the back bumper of that number 69 of Nate Hall. Nate Hall will get moved up out of the groove. He'll have to figure it out, fall right back down to the bottom half of the field. Mitchell Wilson, Phil Bogdan, the rest of these guys all in line trying to make something shake, riding out of the front nose of the Marlboro man, Virgil Perriman, as they climb the banking here into turn 3 and 4. Everybody trying to make something shake here. Virgil Perriman stuck down on the bottom side. He's looking patiently after involved in that accident earlier across the start-finish line. Tore up this number 18 truck. They spent the better half of about 1 minute and 45 seconds on pit lane trying to get it all patched up. Perriman throws the block down to the bottom side of the racetrack across the front nose of Ty McIntosh. Now 2 Rednecks lead the group here at Talladega Super Speedway. It's Alan Hammerbeck trying to work his way back up through the field in this number 77. He'll draw back in the line in front of Mitchell Wilson. That's where the gap is to that outside line. Alan Hammerbeck needs to pinch the gap close here to get this outside line moving. However, though, the Pinnacle Racing Group 35 of Braden Scott clears that outside line with the group guys in front of him. He'll jump down on the bottom side of the racetrack. Alan Hammerbeck now leads the middle lane all by himself with Mitchell Wilson. 3 wide here at the Talladega Super Speedway. John Michael Bryant leads that outside lane. He's got his teammate Nicholas Maynard with him. They'll sail to the top side of the racetrack here at the Talladega Super Speedway. Mitchell Wilson now will jump up there as well with Virgil Perriman. They'll all try to charge to make something work off turn 4. John Michael Bryant trying to hold the lane. He'll go for the top back to the middle here, trying to clear himself. They'll have 3 ducks in a row on that outside line, but this inside line is checked out here with about 9, 10, maybe 11 trucks leading the group here over that outside line, being led by John Michael Bryant's Dodge Ram. 4 more trucks now jump to the outside line. Trenton Johns, Ty McIntosh, and Bobby Kyle, the guys that do it as well as Neil Rutt. 4 on 4 here at the Talladega Super Speedway. Battles going on off turn 2. If you're not loving what you're seeing here tonight on the Biddy Scoot Racing channel, grab your shit and hit the door. It's getting absolutely crazy here tonight at the Talladega Super Speedway. Dakota Pignataro all the way back here in the back half of the field, trying to work his way up towards the front here. His day may be retired as he is way out of the field. The 88 of Logan Perriman now. John Michael Bryant jumps to the bottom side of the racetrack. He gets below the yellow line right there to Tony Cook. That's one of the rules that we forgot to talk about to you guys here tonight. 3 rules inside of the Madness Racing League. You can't pass below the yellow line, and there's no 3 wide into the completion of the first initial lap. NR3 jumps up to the outside line. That's M&D Motorsports. Ty McIntosh leads the middle lane here, being pushed by the team owner Neil Rutt the third. Adam Peeler now moves up in this number 27 machine. Logan Perriman has no choice but to fall back in the line. 4th place in spot on the outside line. Michael Durham Jr. in the number 55 on the inside. He's behind the number 51 Redneck of Trenton Johns and Bobby Kyle, who set on the pole here tonight in that 777 machine. Tony Cook working here with John Michael Bryant and Nicholas Maynard. Three of these guys on the charge on the bottom side. Bryant on the bottom, Scott up the middle, Wilson on the top side. They're three wide here at Talladega. Wave portion parts back to the mid part half of the field. We're separated now into two separate packs as Aaron Evans, Phil Bogdan, Virgil Perriman, Nate Hall, and Alan Hammerbeck get discombobulated. John Michael Bryant goes around on the front straightaway. Huge shot to the outside wall for the number 23, and the caution flag flies here at Talladega. Caution flag out here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. This time it's for John Michael Bryant in this number 23 Dodge Ram here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We'll back that ass up for the instant replay. Take a look and see exactly what happened to John Michael Bryant in this number 23 truck, three wide with Braden Scott and Mitchell Wilson. Maynard just gets to the back bumper. John Michael Bryant maybe looks like he got turned. It was a hard shot there from the teammate of Nicholas Maynard. And Maynard may be the one to blame for this one. Let's see if we can't ride out the front bumper of Nicholas Maynard. Take a look and see exactly what happened here inside of this number 02 machine. Coming to push his teammate, John Michael Bryant. Got a wide body Hellcat on the back of this number 23. Damn, she's thick. It was a pretty flush shot right there from Maynard to his teammate, but John Michael Bryant, I'm not entirely sure what happened to his truck. It's obviously got a little bit of damage on the back end, but it's maybe a terrible spot to push there for the number 02, pushing inside of the corner. We'll ride out of the helmet cam of John Michael Bryant. We'll see how this looked for him. Bumper applied right there. The wheel goes immediately to the right. John Michael Bryant barely able to kiss that outside safer barrier. Looks like he'll minimize the damage inside of this number 23 truck. 15 laps to go. And this maybe look like this happened off that back bumper, off that front bumper of Nicholas Maynard in this number 02 machine on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. The teammate of John Michael Bryant, he was able to get it up and moving. Nicholas Maynard going to be probably tagged with the incident here in this number 02 PPG Paints Ford F-150. John Michael Bryant will catch the back half of the field. We'll return in just a moment here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, back here live at Talladega. Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. 15 laps to go here in the Alabama 120. We've been at it for about an hour or so here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, and we could start calling it the Moody Scoot Racing channel. Guys are starting to get moody here at the Talladega Super Speedway, trying to hold on to what they have track position wise, but if you don't have a car to race, it's going to be one hell of a problem. We'll see who breaks down the field to come down on the pit lane. Aaron Evans, Nate Hall, Phil Bogdan, Virgil Perriman, Alan Hammerbeck, and John Michael Bryant will be the top takers down on the pit lane here. Phil Bogdan says, I'm not entirely sure what is going on with the truck right now. The 29 said they have elected to go for handling here for the back half of this part of the event here. He'll slide down into his pit box. It'll be 4 fresh Goodyear tires, 2 cans of Sunoco Racing fuel for the Arizona number 29 of Phil Bogdan. He'll also stay to patch up a little bit of damage. Here comes Alan Hammerbeck. He's missing that right front quarter panel. It's going to be significantly air damage for him. John Michael Bryant was the accident, and the caution flag right there. Look at that wide body Hellcat on the back half of this number 23 Dodge truck. You see it kicked out right there. He'll have to wait to try to get a little bit of this damage fixed here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Could that be an issue for John Michael Bryant? We'll break down the rest of the field here. The redneck Trent Johns here jumps on the outside of that 51 Beechcraft Chevy Silverado. He had a couple teammates with him, a couple fellow rednecks on the outside. He's driving the Beechcraft Kyle Busch Tribute 51 truck here tonight. He'll have something special here in the next couple of weeks as we head towards the Las Vegas Motor Speedway here in a few weeks for the Kyle Busch Memorial Race for the Booty Scoot Racing channel. And while we're thinking about that, we will go ahead and bring up the remaining schedule here for the Madness Racing League, hoping that everybody presses that follow button, presses that like button, and the subscribe button so you don't miss a thing. 2 weeks from now, we'll head to the Charlotte Motor Speedway, and then we will go to Kentucky. That will be one hell of a racetrack there, especially for this group of rednecks that we were just speaking about. Then we will go to Auto Club, Fontana, however you like to call it. An absolutely going to be awesome race underneath the lights in Auto Club. Las Vegas and Homestead will be the final 2 races here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. And we couldn't do it without the Homerun Cafe, located at 810 North Main Street in Greer, South Carolina. 29651-864-915-4721. Or check them out on Facebook at the Homerun Cafe in Greer, South Carolina for all of your race day fuel. So we'll head back to the line here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We'll see what will be 12 laps to go when the green flag drops. 13 this time around. Lights will go off on top of that beautiful jacked up dually truck of Peter the Base Car. And looks like we'll have 2 more drivers work their way down on the pit lane. I would imagine they're going to come down and try to top off on Sunoco Racing Fuel. Mitchell Wilson will leave pit lane. He'll go check the back half of that. Excuse me, not Mitchell Wilson. He will go catch the back half of the field. That's Phil Bogdan in that number 29 machine. We'll head across the line, double file them up. We'll go racing this time around. Johns McIntosh, the front row. Right, Kyle, the second row. Durham Peeler will be the third row. Perriman Cook will be the fourth row. Wilson Maynard will be the fifth and final top 10 drivers here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. 25 cars started the 9th event. 4 caution flags for incidents here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. It's been one hell of a show for you fans here tonight. Up to 20 lead changes from 9 underneath that previous caution flag. So well over 11 lead changes underneath that previous run. We have about 12 laps to go here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. And it is still anybody's ball game here tonight. Drivers are going to want to stay patient with one another. Drivers are going to want to hold it together. And finally, drivers are going to want to draft hard here, but you need to stay patient. 13 laps is well over 20-something miles here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. That's a ton of racing here at Talladega. Do not even want to begin or describe to tell you fans what I have seen out there in that infield. If you know anything about Talladega, there is a lot of titties and buttholes around here, and I'm not talking the assholes on the racetrack, if you know what I'm saying. Aaron Evans shoves right over our camera, had a duck down right there. Peter the Pace Car will hang that left this time around. Fans are on their feet. They know what Talladega typically brings here in the closing laps. It doesn't matter the series, the league, the sponsor, you name it. Talladega is known for some of the best racing on the iRacing platform. Drafting it up here. Some of the draft masters in the field tonight, like Zach Evans, Dakota Pignataro, Tony Cook, Nicholas Maynard. Some of these guys cut their teeth here in the super speedway categories on iRacing. Trenton Johns will be in charge of this restart with McIntosh on the outside. No better place than to be leading a line right now with 11 laps to go the next time around. Freddie the flagman holds the green flag in the air. We're back racing here at Talladega. 12 laps to go. Can we keep it green to the end? Ripping back up through the gears here at the Talladega Super Speedway. 11 laps to go this time around on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Bobby Kyle and that 777 machine moves to the middle side of the racetrack. He's got no help behind him, though, as the line is discombobulated from him behind. Heading down the back straightaway here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Everybody trying to pick and choose and hold a line here. McIntosh on the middle side. He'll have 2 teammates behind him in Neil Rudd and Adam Peeler. But it's Trenton Johns, Michael Durham Jr., Logan Perriman lined up on the bottom. 3 rednecks, 3-on-3 when it comes to a team battle here. But Mitchell Wilson has the extra man advantage on the bottom side. But Braden Scott will jump up to the outside. It is now what is a 8-on-4 on the bottom side as they are missing 2 more cars on the bottom side. Tony Cook now trying to find a way back in the line of this Homerun Cafe number 33 Chevy Silverado. They'll work back across the front straightaway here, ripping back up through the gears. Green flag with 10 laps to go here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Tony Cook will jump to the outside. Nicholas Maynard will follow him in the number 02. Maynard Motors, PPG Ford F-150. John Michael Bryant's looking right there as well. 2 teammates looking to tango here off turn 2. Bunch of lines switching right here. Braden Scott jumped from the middle to the outside lane. Guys are going to have to pick and choose on what they want to do here. They cannot keep driving around like they have been doing all night long. Look at the glare off the sun on some of these paint schemes. Some badass schemes here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. John Michael Bryant now will jump up in front of Tony Cook in this number 33 machine. They'll lead the outside line. So got a few more cars trying to make something trail. 3 wide here at the Talladega Super Speedway. 10, maybe 11 trucks on the bottom. 4 in the middle. 3 on the outside. Aaron Evans, the Swamp Rabbit, will join the party here at the Talladega Super Speedway. Tony Cook gets loose from the top side of the racetrack, comes down a little bit. Nate Hall, him and him make contact. Tony Cook up the racetrack right there. Maynard gets put in the outside, safe for barrier as well, but Tony Cook's able to keep it up and moving. Alan Hammerbeck now 3 wide with Tony Cook. Maynard sandwiched in the outside lane. He'll lose the draft here at Talladega. 3 wide off turn 2 here. Maynard's going to have to try to keep it select there on that 0-2 if he wants a chance to get back at it here at Talladega. Ty McIntosh, the race leader here tonight over Neil Rutt, Adam Peeler, and Trent Johns, the 4th place driver here tonight. But he's got his teammate Michael Durham Jr. all over the back bumper. Braden Scott finally being able to lead a line. He's got some Toyotas behind him. It's Bobby Kyle on the 777 from Huntersville, Georgia, trying to grab the win here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We now have 2 separate groups broken out here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Maynard will lose the draft here with 10 laps to go. Not entirely sure what happened right there. Contact made from the 33 to the 69 of Nate Hall. Got him back up the racetrack. Maynard went into the outside, safe for a barrier. But the rest of these guys split it 3 wide off of turn 2. Guys trying to make moves here at the Talladega Super Speedway. You can't blame them. Ty McIntosh on the bottom side. Braden Scott on the outside, leading that outside line, trying to get everybody back in the line. But 3 more cars want to be discombobulated in the middle side. They want a chance to try to make something work up the middle. That's the 55 of Michael Durham Jr. trying to push Trenton Johns here with 9 laps to go at the Talladega Super Speedway. Logan Perriman now's got John Michael Bryant on the inside of him. Bryant now moves to the bottom side of the racetrack. Drag race across the front straightaway. Ty McIntosh is getting drafting help from his teammate Neil Rutt the 3rd. Adam Peeler in line on the bottom side. 3 wide here of the Super Speedway in the back half of the field. It's Braden Scott, Logan Perriman. Logan Perriman now falls into the back half of the field. Here comes the back half second group. They'll have to try to get it all together here if they can get all their ducks lined up in a row and get single file. They may have a chance to catch this front half group. Ty McIntosh is riding out of the mirror right now, hugging the yellow line here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, trying to make sure that nobody can get around him on the inside. Not that I think that Neil Rutt would make the pass around one of his team trucks here tonight. Maybe trying to make sure that M&D Motorsports goes to victory lane. But on the outside, Trenton Johns has a hard-charging redneck partner of his, Michael Durham Jr. Michael Durham Jr. is all over the back bumper of Trenton Johns. How much longer can he keep the truck there? We know that these guys are playing they're playing checkers and chess when it comes to the temperature gauges inside of the oil pressure. We've seen somebody in practice blow up. They told us that it was somewhere between about 290, 300 degrees before the truck blew up here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Riding out of the Hamrick cam of Michael Durham Jr. trying to push his teammate Trenton Johns to the front half of the field. I think the temperatures may start to be going up on side of these trucks here as that outside line is starting to fall backwards. 7 laps to go here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel live at Talladega. It's anybody's ball game. Here comes that second half group. They finally figured it out. They got their car single file in a row. Maynard not a part of this battle right here for position. 7 laps to go off the exit of turn 4. Heading back across the start-finish line, Trenton Johns starting to gather back up some momentum here on that outside line. It's a 5-on-7. 5 on the outside, 7 on the inside. McIntosh leads the group. Johns on the outside line, being pushed by Michael Durham, a teammate. Neil Rutt pushing his teammate, Ty McIntosh. Now they'll get discombobulated a little bit. McIntosh will throw a block from the middle, from the bottom side of the lane to the middle side and discombobulate that outside lane. We've seen this earlier lead to a bunch of wrecks. Ty McIntosh has been way aggressive with the blocks here tonight, but so is 2 or 3 other drivers. John Michael Bryant now split 3 wide. Trenton Johns will close to the bottom side of the lane as he was clear by half a car length or so right there across the front nose, but that'll leave his teammate. Bobby Kyle goes around, collects Adam Peeler. 2 drivers go around, but it's Bobby Kyle barrel rolling, doing spins here in turn 3 and 4. That'll bring out the caution flag here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Bobby Kyle And the 777 gets spun around here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We'll back that ass up for the instant replay. Take a look and see exactly what happened to the 64-year-old from Martinsville, Georgia, Bobby Kyle, as he gets absolutely spun around right there. It looks like from Braden Scott, maybe John Michael Bryant will throw up the blimp cam. See if he can't break it down slowly. Bobby Kyle maybe got discombobulated trying to drive that outside line and draft the guy in front of him. Just lost touch of where he was at. Bobby Kyle comes up the racetrack, back down across the front nose of John Michael Bryant. And that's where things take place here. We'll see if we can't ride on board the number 777 of Bobby Kyle. Kind of see maybe what he's seeing out the front roof cam and seeing him on the outside, three wide. He had the drafting group with him. John Michael working up the middle there. Bobby Kyle trying to hold the draft in front of him, but John Michael's on the inside. So Bobby Kyle just unaware that somebody's inside of him. As soon as the guy's starting to move, so does Bobby Kyle. And he gets tagged in the left rear and goes for the rod here at Talladega. Bobby Kyle keeps his foot in it as well off the safer barrier. It was actually a great save right there. That's that 30-plus years of racing experience online for the 777 of Bobby Kyle. He'll be able to save that race car, though. Minimum damage is possible. That's a game changer for the number 02 of Nicholas Maynard, who'll have the opportunity to re-rack back up with the front half group. But Trenton Johns was the guy scored as the race leader. And what led to that, I would imagine, had to be a little bit of those blocks up the front half of the field starting to get guys, discombobulated and out of order. You start looking at guys in front of you, and that might not be the line that you're even in on the racetrack. You have to be situationally aware of what is going out on the track. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back here in just a moment, hearing it from the admin. We are heading to a 2-lap shootout, but we will avoid the overtime. We'll have 3 extra attempts at it here tonight. Back in just a moment on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Welcome back here on the main broadcast cam. We are underneath the now 5 laps to go here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Drivers are heading back across the start-finish line. Will we have any takers down on the pit lane coming to what should lead us to about 3-lap shootout? Maybe 2-lap shootout? It's going to be very, very close. We will get 2 takers down on the pit lane. It'll be Adam Peeler, and here comes a bunch of more guys as well as Mitchell Wilson, Bobby Kyle, Phil Bogdan will come down on the pit lane, Alan Hammerbeck, and Nicholas Maynard, who got involved in that accident right there with Tony Cook on that outside safer barrier. We'll see how these guys elect to work the rest of their race. Everybody else stays out on the racetrack. It's 10 drivers staying out on the track. Ladies and gentlemen, we do want to break it down to you here as Zach Evans will be the wave around this lucky dog this time around. So bark, bark, bark for the me-fine number 6 Dodge Ram of Zach Evans, not having the race that he was looking for here tonight. Trenton Johns will be the race leader here in this number 51 from Williamsburg, Kentucky. Trenton Johns has never won a race here before on the Booty Scoot Racing channel or inside of the TNA Truck Series. Trenton Johns, a longtime full dirt contestant, now turned oval driver here inside of the Madness Racing League on the front row here with a chance of a lifetime to go to victory lane. Behind him will be one more car back, will be his teammate Michael Durham Jr., who we're riding on board with right now. Michael Durham Jr., you hear him switching up through the gears right now in this number 55 machine. Ty McIntosh in this second place spot, going back to the gas, trying to save a little bit of fuel here on the Madness Racing League. Asheville, North Carolina, stand up. Ty McIntosh has been out front for majority portion part of tonight's event, riding on board the number 10 machine. He's led almost 30 laps here tonight. That's half of tonight's race on the Booty Scoot Racing channel, but he's been able to do that because he's had his teammate riding on board the NR3 Designs Dodge Ram of Neil Rutt III from Union Beach, New Jersey. They have played the teammate strategy card perfectly here tonight. They'll be lined up nose to tail here on the restart, but so will MTL Motorsports' Michael Durham Jr. and Trenton John. So we will see MND Motorsports versus MTL Motorsports here on this restart on the front two rows, pushing each other for what possibly could be the race win here tonight. Braden Scott will now fill in what's going to be the 5th place position, followed by John Michael Bryant and the number 23 Dodge Ram Machine. Logan Perriman will round out the 7th place spot, followed by Aaron Evans, Nate Hall, and Tony Cook. Ladies and gentlemen, we will re-rack them this time around. We'll have 3 laps to go. It will be a 2-lap shootout here at the Talladega Superspeedway live on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. MTL Motorsports on the bottom lane, MND Motorsports on the outside lane. 4 trucks here in the front half, 2 of them teammates here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. MND Motorsports has an opportunity of the lifetime, but Trenton Johns will try to pick up that first career win here at Talladega in the Beechcraft number 51 when the green flag drops. However, folks, ladies and gentlemen, we will break down the rules of the Madness Racing League to you here in just a second. These drivers will stay out of the overtime this time around. It will be a natural 2-lap shootout on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. If they do happen to wreck here and take us to the overtime, we will have 2 additional chances at the overtime if needed. Hopefully, we can get it all squared away here on the regular 2-lap shootout. The 51 of Trenton Johns, the race leader. McIntosh on the outside. Michael Durham Jr. in 3rd. Neil Rudd in 4th. Braden Scott in the 35 in 5th. John Michael on the outside. Logan Perriman in 7th. Aaron Evans will shake out the 8th place start here on the restart. Nate Hall on the bottom side in the number 69. Aaron Evans, Tony Cook, Mitchell Wilson back out on the track, followed by Alan Hammerbeck, Nicholas Maynard, Adam Peeler, Zach Evans, and Phil Bogdan. Trent Johns getting ready to bring them off of turn 4 to the Geico restart zone live at Talladega. 2 laps to go. 5.8 miles till we get a winner here at the Talladega Superspeedway. 1,000 feet added on to where the start-finish line should really normally be, somewhere within this general area. But these drivers are going to have to bring it all the way back around to this final 1,000 feet. Green flag back in the air here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. 2-lap shootout at Talladega. Trenton Johns has the race lead now, who have his teammate, the 55 of Michael Durham Jr. behind him. That's MTL Motorsports, the 2 rednecks. Get combobulated up the racetrack. Michael Durham gets door slammed by, where he door slams Ty McIntosh. Excuse me. That'll allow MND Motorsports to have to move away from the outside line. Trenton Johns jumps from the bottom lane to the top side. He'll try to throw the block. He'll go back around Ty McIntosh, who fakes back to the driver's left, but Trenton Johns stays in line. That'll bring the redneck, his teammate Michael Durham Jr. up to the bottom line. And next thing you know, MTL Motorsports now controls the front row here at the Madness Racing League. 2 laps to go off of turn 4. MTL Motorsports has both of the front half positions here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. White flag will be displayed this time around, presented by AFLGlobal.com. John Michael Bryant will jump to the outside lane. He'll look to go 3 wide. McIntosh all over the back bumper of the Trenton Johns machine. Trouble back here on the back half of the field. Several guys go around. Mitchell Wilson in that number 46 is now around on the bottom side. Heading through turns 1 and 2, Trenton Johns has the race lead over Ty McIntosh. He'll throw a block here. He'll miss the block on the outside as McIntosh delivers the defense down on the bottom. Contacts made on the bottom side of the racetrack. Neil Wright pushing his teammate, the number 10. Trenton Johns now jumps to the outside around Aaron Evans, who's blinking in and out. Michael Durham Jr. doesn't have room to help his teammate now. The 69 jumps to the outside. Logan Perriman collects Aaron Evans up the racetrack. Several drivers involved. Down on the bottom side, Neil Wright the third, pushing his teammate Ty McIntosh as Trenton Johns gets moved out of the line on the bottom side. Checkered flag is less than 1,000 feet away this time around. Trenton John has to run across the front straightaway. Does he look to make the move to the driver's right of Ty McIntosh? He'll do it, but Ty McIntosh will win the race at Talladega. Neil Wright goes around hard on the outside wall. Michael Durham Jr. goes around. Several drivers involved in the accident. Logan Perriman Sweeping back up into traffic right there. That's a close one here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. Several drivers able to work their way back up towards the front half of the field. Nicholas Maynard will finish in the 6th place spot here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel for the top 5. McIntosh goes to victory lane. What a finish right there. Some halfway crazy blocks there on the back half of the field will cost somebody the win here tonight, and that's why we try to tell the drivers the main portion part of tonight's event to chill out as much as possible. Some drivers not happy with one another here at the end of tonight's event. Ty McIntosh wins the race at Talladega. He'll bring it back across the front straightaway here. He should burn it down for you fans. The winner of tonight's event at Talladega in the Alabama 120 is Ty McIntosh from Asheville, North Carolina. His 2nd career Madness Racing League TNA Truck Series win. Ty McIntosh is now won at the Charlotte Motor Speedway and now the Talladega Super Speedway. We head to Charlotte 2 weeks from now. Ty McIntosh will have the opportunity of a lifetime to defend that win that he got back in season 3. He's got another one here tonight. He'll be the guy looking to go back-to-back at Charlotte after coming off a win there before. He's sitting really well on this number 10 Weekend Woodsman Dodge Ram machine. McIntosh burning it down for the fans here at Talladega. Hits that outside safer barrier. That's all okay, though. Ty McIntosh is going to victory lane here tonight in the number 10 Weekend Woodsman machine. We'll be back in just a moment. We'll have the post-race show in the driver interview. Stick around. Don't go nowhere. Welcome back here on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel, live here at the Talladega Super Speedway for the Alabama 120. Ty McIntosh goes to victory lane here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. We got a pit reporter down there with him. Do you guys have a copy? Go ahead.
Down here in victory lane at the Talladega Super Speedway, we're with the race winner, the number 10 of the Weekend Woodsman Dodge Ram of Ty McIntosh. Ty, you finally prevail here once again in the Truck Series. You picked up your 2nd career win, this time at Talladega after a handful of starts, almost taking home the checkered flag. Kind of walk us through the race here tonight.
Yeah, man, it was crazy. Honestly, I think a lot of it was just trying to manage the restarts and getting with the guys and sticking together. And fuel management was not too bad. I think we were all saving there a little bit, trying to make sure we can get this thing to the end. And yeah, just finally glad to get one done, man. I feel like we've been so close with this 10 machine all week or all season, really. And this was kind of a week I had circled. I love plate racing, and especially when we got a team like this, we work really well together. So I want to shout out Neil for shoving me there, sticking with me all the way to the end. And we finally got this number 10 to victory lane. Well, I guess officially is the key word there.
Ty McIntosh officially does it. He'll be the winner here tonight at race number 7. 2 weeks from now, we will head on over to the Charlotte Motor Speedway where he's bound to defend his race win there as well. We'll head down here to the 2nd place spot, the 66 of Neil Rutt. Neil, kind of walk us through your race here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing Channel. Team owner, 3 trucks in the top 5. You were able to push one of yours to the win. Kind of walk us through.
Yeah, obviously being pretty much the team owner here, we try to just get the best benefit out of our team. I knew it would be a better option to just push Ty and at least get one of our trucks in victory lane. I'm lower back here on the points here, so 2nd place for us is definitely what we need just to get as much points as we can to kind of rally after our shitty, beginning of the season here. So we'll take P2. Good job out of the M&D boys as always, and we'll go on to the next one.
That's Neil Rutt the third. He'll bring home the 2nd place spot here in the Madness Racing League Truck Series at Talladega. We'll scoot down here to the 5th place finisher, the 27 of Adam Peeler. Adam, kind of walk us through your race here tonight at Talladega. This 27 has some speed in it, just collected in other people's messes. Walk us through it.
Yeah, that one was very eventful for sure. We just kind of rode around a couple car lengths off the pack and tried to save some gas and get ready for the stupid wrecks that we knew were going to happen. I can say that I had one of the biggest oh shit moments in that big wreck where I was dirt tracking through the infield there in the corner, and they kept sliding down in front of me, and I kept just kept my foot in it and missed them all somehow. I haven't really quite figured out how I missed them all. Yeah, and then I finally got up to my teammates and was able to be third in line there and give pushes when they needed it, try to keep us clear. And I don't know what happened above me. All I know is I was on the bottom, paying the line, and something happened. There was a car sideways, and I ended up dirt tracking through the infield again, but not nearly as fun that time. So come in, got some damage fixed, and lined up 13th, I think, on that restart. Realized going into turn 1 and 2 that I still had something to race with, and just didn't lift, right? I mean, I ran 3/4 of the throttle and gave people brakes and cut brakes the whole race, but that last lap, I'll be honest, I was all take. I feel like I should have been running in the top 5, and I wanted to get back there. So we'll take a 5th place finish, move on with the points. Congrats to the M&D teammates. Ty on the win, the boss man for his P2. Good birthday week for the big boss, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.
That's Adam Peeler. He'll bring home the 5th place spot here tonight, the number 27 Dodge Ram for M&D Motorsports. We'll scoot down here to the 8th place finisher of the night, driver of the 02 Ford F-150 from Maynard Motors. Kind of walk us through your race here tonight, Nick. Disaster is the only word that's going to describe this one here tonight, and hurt, because, I mean, we had the game plan, I feel like, played our purpose. We had a 0-8 heading into the last 10 laps there, and we end tonight's event with 15. It's just it's a lot of a lot of give and no take, or whatever the other thing is. A lot of take, no give. That's the word I'm looking for. But as long as guys continue to fight each other and argue with one another over the radios and in the Discord and stuff like that, that's what leads to things out here on the racetrack, because you don't want to push with those certain guys, or you maybe not like that certain guy, so you might maybe race them a little aggressively, whatever the case may be. It definitely leads to those type of things. But for the 02 Maynard Motors PPG paint, Ford F-150 was definitely a bad fast truck here tonight. Was able to lead up some lines there. I'm not entirely sure what happened there with the teammate John Michael Bryan there. Just got discombobulated on that outside line, and definitely cost us. He had some. I'm gonna probably put a brand new front clip on it. But it's gonna be a long week at the shop. We'll be back to Charlotte tomorrow night for the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. Probably one of my better tracks, but probably racing for 2nd place as always. But there's a hell of a race here tonight at Talladega. Congratulations to Ty. He definitely earned that after walk swing. That's 02 Nicholas Maynard. Will go back up to the booth here for the rest of the broadcast. That'll do it for the driver interviews.
And we appreciate it, you guys doing down there God's work, doing the post-race show. The fans are starting to pile out of here. The Talladega Super Speedway. We are wrapping up the Alabama 120. We'll bring up the post-race results right here. Just kind of keep everybody up and moving. And kind of exactly. We appreciate you guys joining in here tonight. Ty McIntosh, victorious here for the first time, full-time, on the Madness Racing League Booty Scoot Racing channel. His 2nd career win of the channel, this time inside of the Talladega Super Speedway. He got a great push from the teammate Neil Rutt III, who will finish 2nd. Trent Johns will grab 3rd. The MTL Motorsports had the race lead off turn 2 on the white flag, and things started to go sideways with some crazy blocks. Braden Scott in the number 35 will finish in the 4th place spot. Adam Peeler will be our final top 5 contestant here tonight for M&D Motorsports. 3 M&D Motorsports trucks in the top 5. Michael Durham Jr., the 2nd redneck for MTL Motorsports, finishes in the 6th place spot. A great run for Michael Durham Jr., who'll look to be tough 2 weeks from now at Charlotte. Tony Cook gets the top 10. He'll finish in the 7th place spot here tonight. Contact early with about 12 laps to go between him and Nicholas Maynard, but both of them were able to rebound for 7th and 8th place finishes here tonight as Maynard brings home the 8th place spot there on your screen. Logan Perriman driving this number 19 truck here tonight. Well, the number 88, on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Logan Perriman started way back in the final spot here tonight, the 25th place spot. He'll finish in the 9th place position. Bill Bogdan will complete tonight's event, in the 10th place position, driving this number 29, followed by Nate Hall in the 11th place spot for Weekend Woodsman. In the number 91 Dodge Ram, the Evans Reptile, the Swamp Rabbit of Aaron Evans will bring home the 12th place spot here tonight. Alan Hammerbeck will score the 14th place spot, as well as John Michael Bryant, not having the run that he was looking for, involved in the accident there on that final lap. He'll finish in the 14th place position. Zach Evans will grab the 15th place spot, followed by Mitchell Wilson in the 16th place position. Bobby Kyle, the 777 pole sitter here tonight, will get in a wreck there late. He'll bring home the 17th place spot, followed by Dakota Pignataro in the 18th place spot. The 19th place position belongs to Michael Ponder Jr. inside of this number 13 Machine. He had a hell of a race here tonight up there battling hard for the race lead. Virgil Perriman, the Marble Man, finishes 5 spots better than he started, and he finished in the 20th place spot here tonight. Aaron Birch involved in the accident there late. He'll bring home the 21st place position. Corey Tessner threw a little halfway cautious block there, and so did Ty McIntosh. They'll meet in the middle. The number 8 of Corey Riptide. Tessner will bring home the 22nd place spot, followed by Terry Hughes Jr., who will bring home the 81XI Racing position in the 23rd place spot. Luna Liepo brings home the 24th place position, followed by Trevin Waters, who is the final spot here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. That'll do us for us here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel here at Talladega. 60 laps are in the book. Ty McIntosh wins a 22 race lead change race here tonight at the Charlotte Motor Speedway for his first ever career win here in season 4 of the Truck Series. 79 degrees, 7-mile-per-hour wind blowing in from the northeast. Cloudy conditions here at Talladega. We want to remind you we are not responsible for your DUIs here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. Please drink responsibly. 61 laps. Ty McIntosh wins it here tonight on the Booty Scoot Racing channel. We'll see you tomorrow night, Saturday night, August 22nd at the Charlotte Motor Speedway for the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series race right here on the Booty Scoot Racing channel.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading